George Balanchine is widely celebrated as one of the most iconic choreographers in ballet history, but his legacy is facing new criticism. Some believe that he fostered a culture of control, silence, and abuse within the dance world. The podcast series, The Turning, Room of Mirrors, explores his legacy and has sparked a powerful conversation about the complexities of ballet culture, and it's now being recognized as a finalist in the Scripps Howard Awards for excellence in audio storytelling. The awards are sponsored by our parent company, EW Scripps. And joining me now is host of the podcast, Erika Lantz. Thank you for coming on. Congratulations on your work being recognized. How did you want to tell this story?
We wanted to tell it in a way that reflected both the beauty of ballet and the pain and sometimes trauma that gets embedded in this culture that is based around a power dynamic with such difference between those in power and those without. There's a very strict hierarchical structure where you tend to need to do whatever the person in the front of the room is saying, and most of what they're saying is criticism of you, and you learn to look at yourself with such a critical eye to trust the person in front of the room more than you trust yourself.
And for those of us on the outside, I think we understand kind of the stereotype of ballet, that you have the coaches that are very tough, the choreographers who are tough, and that it's an incredibly challenging and rigorous art form. But what was surprising to you when you dove into it?
It surprised me how many dancers used words like brainwashing and cult to describe what they experienced. And don't get me wrong, these are people who loved ballet and devoted their life to it. One dancer told me, though, that when she left, she realized that on average, it takes about 10 years to feel like you've recovered and are actually able to join the real world, the outside world. Another dancer said she felt like when she left ballet, she was coming out of a bunker. And it is sort of like that saying, a dancer dies twice. You die first when you have to leave the stage. But I think that actually doesn't fully explain what dancers feel when they leave ballet and how they start to realize that the culture they lived in for all that time is affecting them even beyond after they leave.
How should we, as those who appreciate the art form, recognize the challenges that you've uncovered in this podcast, but yet still find a way to appreciate the performances we watch?
Well, one thing I say is support ballet and support the arts. I love ballet. I danced it for many years myself, and it's an incredible art form that can touch you in a way that, I don't know, another art form can, in that precise way. But the thing about ballet is it reflects a lot of the issues in our own culture outside of ballet, like things like racism and sexism. And it also trickles into the culture just by the sheer fact of how many children take ballet in the United States and around the world all the time. I mean, how many people do you know who studied ballet or dance as a kid? And so some of the issues around abuse and control and self-criticism can be affecting kids and affecting how they view themselves. So I would suggest, parents, and if you're a dancer or a child who's studying dance, to keep your eyes open and talk about these types of issues so that you can see them coming.
And we just have about 30 seconds left, but what do you hope this series, the impact it will have on the ballet community and the way that it's operated?
I have received so many letters that almost brought me to tears of dancers who related to this and felt like they finally understood their experience because there are words put to it from other dancers. So I think talking about it is going to be at least the first part of the solution.
Host of The Turning, Room of Mirrors, Erika Lantz. Again, congratulations on this important work being recognized. Thanks for taking the time to be with us.
Thanks so much.
And that will do it.